Cuba is an island nation filled with fervor, faith, and fierce pride, and a growing presence of the contemporary alongside the classic. In ways, time seems to have stopped on the streets of Havana. Some buildings appear to be untouched, and yes, the classic cars you expect to see are ubiquitous, not all as perfectly preserved as these. But changes have come, Havana humming with an exchange of ideas and culture. That cultural conversation is easy to hear when you listen to the music. Conga, bands and the music they play, originated in Cuba, and Second Line, a New Orleans tradition at brass band parades, are fused together here, marching through the streets of Havana. Both traditions have African roots and encourage group participation. Here they come! This was one of the pinnacle events of the Getting Funky in Havana Festival, a first-of-its-kind week-long celebration of sound that brought musicians from New Orleans to Cuba.
In Cuba is music everywhere.
The idea for this collaboration was born after Cimafunk, a man some call the Cuban James Brown, traveled to New Orleans in 2019, made some musical friends, and invited them down to Havana.
They have a lot of points in common with us. You know, the music, the food, the environment, the behavior. It's super similar. It's a city full of music.
The stage name Cimafunk is a combination of the Spanish word cimarron, meaning freed runaway slave, and funk, the soulful music he stopped studying medicine to make. You're not actually from Havana?
No. I came from Pinar del Rio. That's my hometown.
Cimafunk's unique brand of music led Billboard magazine to name him one of 2019's 10 Latin artists to watch.
The music for me here in Cuba, the music that I do, talking about my life, about my experiences, everything.
Hip-hop duo La Reina y La Rael also took the stage for the Getting Funky in Havana festival, along with jazz legend Bobby Carcassés. Joining them, Louisianans Tank and the Bangas, the Soul Rebels, and Trombone Shorty.
It's been wonderful just to stand next to some of the Cuban musicians and let them play, and we play, and then you get like, and we understand, and we made that connection.
Spanish is the native tongue, but music is a universal language here.
We're based off of food, community, music. That's all the heartbeats of New Orleans, and it's the same thing here. So being in this beautiful place of Havana, I don't feel like it's a foreign place to me.
Trombone Shorty, born Troy Andrews, grew up a musical phenom, earning his nickname after he started playing the instrument at age 4. Since then, he's shared the stage with music greats and performed for President Obama.
In 1998, I came to Cuba for the first time with my brother James Andrews. We did like a cultural exchange between the musicians of Cuba and the New Orleans musicians. Same thing we're doing today. I never forgot the musical impact that it had on me.
Bringing musicians from New Orleans and Havana together really does make a difference. I think it's symbolic of kind of the power of travel, why it's so important in terms of uniting people and uniting cultures.
New England native Colin Laverty is the president of Cuba Educational Travel, or CET. The agency organized Getting Funky in Havana, an example of its work to better the relationship between the U.S. and Cuba.
I grew up in Rhode Island, and I ended up studying here for a semester when I was in college and became intrigued with the country, fell in love with the culture, the people.
In addition to events like this, CET plans trips for schools, companies, and politicians.
I've done a lot of work on trying to push for normalization of relations between the U.S. and Cuba, which I think would be better for the majority of Americans and certainly the majority of Cubans.
Laverty says the unpredictable relationship between the countries means planning travel to Cuba can be complicated, but it comes with a high reward.
I think most people that come here say that, to some extent it's life-changing and certainly one of their top trips that they've ever taken.
It's a beautiful cultural exchange that we have going on, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
And if you're craving some of that great Cuban music, you are in luck because Cimafunk is actually coming to Massachusetts in the spring.
Right, the Brighton Music Hall in Allston. That's going to be on May 5th. The next night, the Gateway City Arts in Holyoke, May 6th. What an opportunity. Yeah, he's fantastic.
I was here moving during that piece. Resistance through rap music.
The pair continues to challenge social norms with their music.